Hey guys, welcome to the making of the Minecraft parody animation that we made of, was a parody of Bruno Mars, When I Was Your Man. I didn't really get a name for the Minecraft version, um, because I don't know, it was sort of, When I Was Your Owner didn't really sound right. When I Was Your Sword wasn't really like the sword could sing, so there wasn't really no name, but anyway. um, this is a quick like making video, well maybe not too quick, of how the parody was made. So first, this is a set. I don't know if animators call them sets or what, but basically this is the main set. This is, as you can see, it's the house, and we got the cliffs around. In this one it's nighttime. I got a different one where it's daytime. So if you look here, there is this little shiny thing here. If I click on that, you can see this kind of purple color here. And if I were to change this, the whole set, you could change it to day like that. So that's really cool. But for it, you could kind of have a weird, you can have real, different colors. But yeah, I worked with like a nighttime color. It probably took me so long to get. I won't get that back. Messing around with it, but yeah, that's that. And then certain things you can see for this scene. This is where it was sort of spinning around like this, and going, and you could see the zombies walking around. So things like the window here wouldn't be. I didn't set them sort of to render. So if I render an image here, you can see that's where the camera's looking at. And of course I messed up the light so it looks stupid. But since the window's not in the shot, it would actually be blurry if I were to show it, because for each kind of item in this, I had to click in it, and you have to, since grass has like transparent parts, you have to cut them all out, as well as like this rose here. So it was really difficult, and yeah, so that's the main set. But I'm going to show you how this was actually made. So we're going to go into Minecraft to show you how the first step sort of goes, and I'll close this set, and we'll probably look at a different one soon. So if I go into single player, my animation world. So this is kind of like Minecraft Hollywood, except we've never had a big success. But yeah, the Nevermind NPC village. This was for an animation I was about to start. Wow, that villager ran really fast a minute ago. It was gonna have Etho's lab in it, and be kind of him fighting his Cube World character. But I'm gonna be postponing that. I'll still probably do it, because we're working on a new Minecraft parody, that I don't really know when it'll be out yet. But here is the sets. So first one I just showed you is this set. So first, Timmy Pop sent me the lyrics, and he sent me a rough version of the song, and I was super excited, and straight away I just started building. And first I built a house. I didn't have any of these glyphs. I tried to start animating, but you always see this weird, stupid looking sort of sky in the background, and it didn't really work. So I decided the house should be surrounded by cliffs, so you never know kind of that there's nothing beyond them. You feel like you're actually in the Minecraft world. So we have this little sort of nice hut. I don't really know what I was thinking. I just had this idea in my head, so I went and built it. This would be nice in my Minecraft world. Maybe I should make something like this. The enchanting table, I had intended to use this in the animation, but I actually never did in the end. And yeah, this is the main character's little house here, and the zombies were all outside the door. And at first I had no idea what I really wanted to do for the video. The only scene I had worked out was that he'd be walking down here and he starts fighting mobs. And that was probably one of my least favorite scenes in the thing. It was the most kind of, I suppose, I had a load of problems with it where I kept getting erased and things, and in the end I ended up rushing it, and it didn't look great. So yeah, but it was alright. And yeah, once I built this, then when I was working on the cliff, I decided, oh, wouldn't it be cool if there was sort of like a cliff battle here? And then later on, I sort of, after I'd listened to the song, I listened to the song probably over 100 times as I worked on this. But later on, I don't know why, but I didn't really realize how much kind of about the sword the song was about. So later on, I added the sword falling off, and then the zombie falling onto the sword right here. And yeah, that's just the main scene. But although it has everything, it's got the cliffs, the house, the pathway, the cliff scene over there, everything. This was only used in that spinny one that I told you guys about, and maybe no, it wasn't using anything else, I don't think. The reason being, with Blender, it's very difficult to work with something, a scene this big, as well as, or set this big, as well as, like, it's not like it can animate inside the house, as in Blender in the animation program, everything's going to pivot around a center point, which would probably be the floor of the house would be that, and you get less control the nearer you are to it, sort of. So I had to split the main set, into a lot of different parts. So I opened it in empty edit and I started cutting out parts I was going to be using. For instance, the cliff battle's actually done right here, and I just animated this little bit into the animation program. It's slightly different from the one up there, with a little bit added detail for the scene, and the camera obviously goes across here, and had to be careful that we didn't show anything beyond these points that you'd notice. Now don't get me wrong, the thing wasn't filmed in Minecraft, this was recreated in the animation program, and I'll show you how in just a second. This one was for the tutorial I did. This one is for every scene where I say he's lying in bed, which is one scene. I don't think I used it for anything else. This one here is for the scenes where you needed to see the house, so when he's in the start of it, when he's sleeping on the bed and you see, oh yeah, the one with no roof actually was for the jukebox scene. So yeah, I guess I should make it more clear. There's no roof on this, so that the animation program, I can easily sort of access everything inside. And same with this, I can access everything from this side. So yeah, it made everything easier. And now my weakness in animation, something I don't know how to do at all. I guess I should learn it soon. I guess I could do something, but so weak at it, is actually making things. Like, I don't know. I wouldn't know how to. Well, I wouldn't know how to, but it would take me hours and hours and hours to have built this record in the animation program. So what I did is I built it in Minecraft, and I changed the texture pack of Minecraft so that this was all clear. You couldn't see the stone detail and everything. And I changed it so that iron blocks were like the bit on the record and everything. And then I imported the whole record and made it into a tiny version in the animation program, so that it looked like a real record and not a pixel art version. So that's how the record you see at the start of the animation was done. So say like I wanted to make a minigun in Minecraft, I wouldn't be able to do that. I'm not good at modeling, it's called, where you actually build the things, but I'm hoping to work on that soon. So here's where the sort of walkway fight scene was done. Again, this is just a chunk taken out of the big version over here. Actually, no, sorry, this is where the second part of the cliff scene, where we needed to show it from below. This is where that was done. This is where the walkway one was done, where there's a little bit more space, and again, tons of space for the animation program to be able to access everything. The NPC village here, that was a mistake. I didn't really mean to put it there. And this is where the Mine Bunch intro was done. I enjoyed that one. I had pretty much no problems making it, and that's what you're looking for, because problems animating are very annoying. And this last thing here was, I was working on another parody, but the singer sort of pulled out, and it wasn't going to be animated by me. I just kind of directing it, so I decided what the scenes, what they happen and everything. So I'd put in these signs for the guy to let him know what I needed him to animate, but he kind of pulled out, and the singer pulled out, and yeah, it didn't really work out. So I might do it another time, but yeah, it was nothing that special, so I'll probably leave it. Anyway, that is the Minecraft version. So now I guess I'll show you how they get into the program. So if anybody's watched the animation tutorial, they'll probably have an idea what I'm doing here. But I'm opening a program called Mineways, and I'll put a link to their website in the description. But what I can do here is I can open a world, and we have no worlds actually here, but okay, let me go into, no, that would take too long. Okay, give me 1 second, guys. Okay, so what I've done is I've just taken a Minecraft world and put it into my download section. So if I go download animations and we open level.data, so this is a Minecraft save it's opening. Now the program Mineways is pretty old, so it doesn't have blocks like quartz and stuff, which I used in this world. So they turn into bedrock in this program. So it's not good if you want to use blocks like that. But it speeds up animation so much, because instead of having to build build a house in the animation program, which would take forever, I can just say I want this house, the one with no roof. I just select it, and then you select the height data and everything using this. So you want the whole thing to be purple, but you don't want too much. So there's pretty much purple, and this, yeah, so basically that would take it out, and I can export it. I also, you select a texture pack, and I've added different texture packs to the source play sort of, so you could use Fax or all these cool texture packs, and it'll put them right into the animation program, and then eventually you go export for rendering, and I can save it as a .obj file, which the animation program can open. So I'll also put a link to my animations tutorial, which will show you how to actually do that. But for this, I'm just giving you a kind of rough idea, more for people interested in the video, I suppose, than people, and like how it was done, than people trying to learn how to animate. So if we just open up another scene or set here, or scene as well, I suppose. I think some of these have animated bits done to them. Yeah, here again we have nighttime, except this time there's the zombies there. And this actually is the full set. I didn't realize I had used it. So this was a hard one to do. Actually, well, it wasn't too bad. Like, the camera can get around easily. That's also, getting the camera around easily can be very annoying. It was a slow scene because I had to move so many characters. But if you see, I can like click on this guy's on his head, and I can mess around with what he does. And if I click on all his bones, you can see they're sort of lit up. They're his bones. You can move them, and then I can set location, rotation, and scaling, and that will set a spot in the thing, and he will move to that during the animation. So as you can see, I can run through this and see them all doing their thing. And something I guess it's pretty interesting is at the start of this scene, the camera is this triangle right here. I can click on it. There, it's lit up. So right now, if I render an image, you can only see the one getting up on top of the house and a few of the ones around him. So they're the only ones I needed to move. If you look over here, these guys, they're not going to be moving at all because they're not in the scene yet. Now they move a tiny bit and like extremely slowly because they're getting ready for when they're in it. And just now they should start moving properly because now they're in the scene. And at the same time, the ones over here, they no longer need to move because they're not in the scene. So that would just be extra work, and it's completely unnecessary if they're not in the scene. So that's just something I thought was sort of interesting. That's pretty much how it was done. Let me see, is there anything else that I'd like to show? Yeah, there's a few more things, I suppose. We can have a quick look. You can change, like textured mode and stuff. So again, this is where the redstone torch is. There's actually this light right here, and it gives it the effect that it's glowing. So it's giving it off kind of orangey color. You could, make it green, and the scene would look completely different to where there'd be a natural redstone torch, as you can see. And the TNT, I just made it look like it was scaling upwards, and then I faded it to white. At the time, didn't know how to make an explosion in this. I still don't know how to actually make one, but I do know how to download one off Google and import it in. But it wouldn't look like a Minecraft one, so I don't really think it would be worth doing. I sort of like the fadey part. The TNT didn't really look too real as it bounced and expanded, but hey, anyway, there was no way I could really get it to kind of shine like white like it does in the game. But yeah, that's that. I think there's a few called "Don't Fail This Time" or "Damn" and stuff where something went wrong, and I named them funny names. get kind of crazy as I was doing it. Right in here we have all the textures. You got the bed texture, cobble texture, wood texture, and the reason for this is when you first import, like say I was importing that house in earlier, all the textures are really blurry, and you have to, although they're in there and you can see which texture is which, and they're also blocks, they are blurry and you have to change them to real clear textures. I think that's enough looking at the sets. This is a few screenshots of me building the main set. I started off, I actually did start off with the cliffs. So yeah, I must have been clever and thought, I'll do the cliffs first. And I put in these signs again, just letting myself know where everything was going to be. Then I worked on the grass up on the cliffs. I really wanted that. It makes it look a little bit more natural and interesting, I suppose. And the overall kind of place. And then a few trees, because at first I don't think I was going to put in trees, but I really liked the trees once I put in a few, and the waterfall made it look interesting. And then I decided to put in more detail, and eventually you get it looking fairly natural and cool. Right over here, the song and lyrics. So I had the lyrics here, and I'd written out in blue writing what I wanted the animation to have. So I read through the lyrics and I kind of did a draft the animation. I didn't really follow that. I think I looked at it like the first time I forgot. This white picture here, that was for the fading. You see at the end of the animation. And that was just edited in with a transition in Camtasia Studio. So here is the character design. I spent, 2 hours looking for the right skin for the character. At first I said, I'll choose a big YouTuber maybe, and then that maybe they'll watch it and like it. But I decided after a while, nobody sort of seemed right, and eventually I found this one on one of the skin websites, and it's sort of like, it's not plain like normal Minecraft Steve. I didn't want to use normal Minecraft Steve because it's sort of overused, I suppose, and I did want it to be a little bit different, but I did like this one. It's sort of plain but different sort of, and a bit, I don't know, it just sort of suited it. So that's the skin I used, and you can see it on the character. This one is where I edited it myself and added some iron armor, which I was going to use in one scene, but when you add it to the skin it didn't look natural. And as I said before, I don't really know how to create stuff, although I did actually make some iron armor. I think it's here, yeah. So here I added some, is it? I don't see it here. Oh no, this is where I used the skin. So if I render that, that's what it looked like. It looked terrible, the iron armor on that. But there is one where I actually did get this one. I got iron armor onto no, I can't find it now. Anyway, there was one where I got an iron chestplate on him, but then when I wanted him to move, I was finding it very difficult to get the chestplate to move. I could get it to move with him, but not kind of like if his arm moved. It was difficult to get it to look natural, so it didn't really work well. So I decided to forget the armor part. Here's the one with the actual chestplate. As you can see, it is a real chestplate, and it looks a little bit more real, but it still doesn't look great. So I decided to scratch it, and let's just have the guy for that scene. And then this is just the main character, so I can, I guess if I go to textured mode, no, we don't have the, okay, so basically this is him. I can move his arms around, I can move him around, and right here is a really nice little feature. This is his face panel sort of, so I can move a single eye, like a pupil. I can move the pupils around, I can move his nose, I can open and close his mouth, I can change the way his lips are if he's smiling, bring his chin down, change like the shape of his chin. You can bring eyebrows and eyelids up, you can squint his eyes. It's really got a lot of kind of different options, and I deleted them anyway. And then finally, here's a few screenshots that I took while I was making it. Basically, this is sort of the daytime version of the thing. I don't know if I used it or not, but that's daytime with the main set, and changing the lights. I really enjoyed that, changing, like, the lights just changed so much about the animation. And as you can see, there's the Minecraft texture pack that all the textures in this are using. Then here, that's in object mode where you don't actually see the textures. I'd animate using that because you don't get any lag or anything. It's easy for the program to load. And also in this screenshot you can see the stars here and like a nighttime sky. And this was just so if for some reason the camera did look out the window, it wouldn't look weird. Here there was supposed to sort of be the effect that the fire's on, and it is nighttime outside. And I think it worked alright, but it was hard to sort of show that it was nighttime outside. But if you can see this line, I'm not sure if you'll be able to. Right here is a line, and over here is a line. And what this is you can see that coming through the door and the windows, and that was sort of like darkness sort of coming in. Oh, actually, no, this was supposed to be, it was morning time, and it was little bits of light coming in, and they sort of brightened up the room. It worked alright, but I could have probably done it a little bit better. In this one, obviously, it's nighttime, it's kind of spooky. There's a zombie outside the window in that scene, and as you can see, I've taken his face panel out and made it very big. While he's over there, it's very easy for me to change all his face expressions without having to go over and look at the face. I can just use that. There is the one where he's fighting the skeleton shooting at him, I think anyway, and it's sort of nightimey, and there's a little bit of purple just so although like obviously it's a Minecraft animation, I didn't want it to be too like Minecraft. I wanted it to be very obvious that it's an animation. So I wanted, purpley colors at night that you don't actually see in Minecraft, so it's very different. Go away. And these are different skins I was thinking about using. This one is sort of like a higher quality Steve with this thingy over, like a rope over his shoulder. Sky does Minecraft, and then we're back. What is this? This is the actual one I use, iron armor. So yeah, that's pretty much that. I just thought I'd show you. And then here I saved all the scenes. This one is scenes I didn't use, so I guess we should watch them. I can't actually remember why. As you can see, I named it LOL and LOL2, so something funny must have happened. Why didn't I use this? Okay, yeah, that one, I watched it, and the second arrow just shot too slow. It looked sort of stupid, so, and he sort of, like, stays over it. It just didn't look good, so I got rid of that. The final one of that version didn't either look good, but anyway. This one was, like, the intro scene. I'm not sure. Oh, the chest. I just felt that the chest would look better if it was a bit brighter. It was a little bit dark, and I decided to add an extra light to the final one. And I was very happy with that scene. That was probably one of my favorites. It just looked sort of good quality. You could see his arms sort of moving on the bed and the apple. I wish I'd kind of done a few more of the random items around. It did look good, that apple against it. So in the next one we'll do that. So this is LOL 1. This is where I forgot to change the texture pack for the record. So if you look at it here, you can see the stone texture and the iron blocks and the yellow wool and the grey wool and everything. It looks really bad. I think what happened here, I changed this one. I think I changed all but I changed all of them but the stone texture. That was stupid of me. And then I got it right the next time. It's a TNT one. What could happen here? I think the TNT doesn't expand. No, it expanded. Okay, he was just too slow doing the whole arms out thing, and it didn't look good in the final version. And last one, zombie chest. Oh yeah, the first time I wanted him to walk away towards the camera, and sort of look sad as he walks away, and it just went badly. I did these scenes, look right here. From here to here, I left too little time, so he had to do it super fast. And as you can see, it looks so unnatural and bad. I just couldn't do that, especially when it's one of the first scenes, and it was actually the first scene I animated for it. So yeah, these ones are all delete, and these are the real ones. So yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. That's just the making of the Minecraft parody animation that was recently uploaded.